Folks, today on the Stoney Ridge Farm Channel, we're going to show you some cool tools to sharpen and get your chainsaws ready for firewood season. This is the MS500i, and it's a beast. I got to work right here. You're going to have to get up. Can you go over there for me? Good boy. Smart dog. Yeah, baby. There's no feeling like that in the world, man. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoney Ridge Farm. Today we're gonna be having some fun on the farm. We're out here in the outdoor kitchen. We've got the chainsaws out and we're gonna do a chainsaw maintenance day for you guys. I'm gonna show you what I do to maintain my chainsaw. It's gonna be quick, down, dirty, and fun. We've got some cool tools that you probably have never used, or maybe you have used. Anybody use one of these? If you haven't used one of these, you ain't living right. I'm gonna tell you right now. Gone are the days of using the scrinch that comes with your saw, and here are the days where we use this cool tool. It's called a ratchet scrinch. Come along today as we show you guys how I maintain my saws. We're gonna get them ready for firewood season because fall is on the way. Yeah. All right, guys, welcome back to the Stoney Ridge Farm Channel. The table is loaded with stuff here. There's so much stuff. The first thing that we're gonna do, and I've got two chainsaws right now with the chain off. This is, you get ready to drool, okay? I'm in chainsaw heaven, mama. I died and went straight to chainsaw heaven. This is the Stihl MS500i. We're gonna work on that critter here in just a minute. I'm gonna set him down for now. We also have the big daddy of them all right here on the farm, the MS661. This is a big saw, love it. It's great for cutting down big stuff and super great for doing firewood. These are professional grade saws. Now, we're gonna step over to another saw, which I have had for a very, very long time. This is the chainsaw that I did my very first chainsaw review on. This is the Husqvarna 460 Rancher. Let me tell you, this is an impressive saw. I'm super happy with it, but it is nothing compared to, well, it's not nothing, but it is nothing compared to this. This is the 572 XP from Husqvarna. So the first saw we're gonna start with here is the 572 XP. This thing is a beast of a chainsaw. All of these are beasts of chainsaws, but the pro saws, man, once you go pro on a chainsaw, you never want to go back, honestly. I've had that 460 Rancher since I bought the farm. Actually, since before I bought the farm, so that's almost 10 years. The saw performs exactly how it should from day one out of the box. We're going to show you some tools that I have used for years. Now, these are Stihl chainsaw sharpeners. I try to keep them in the pouch that they come with, but these just didn't stay in the pouch. I have them labeled. If you've never used one of these, it's not a gimmick. It is something awesome. So gone are the days of putting this in a vise and going and trying to do the guesswork that it takes to sharpen your saw. Now I know you purists, you pure guys want to do it. I'm serious, you want to do it by hand, you got to do it by feel. I get it, that's awesome. But if you want an all-in-one tool to get your chainsaw sharp in 4 minutes, that is the tool. If you want to learn how to use a file, which this is my chainsaw toolbox, if you want to learn how to use a file and do it, then that's just fine too. And I've been doing that for years, but I've tucked this away. This does not go with me in the forest anymore. These go with me in the forest. And I have them labeled. So here's a little pro tip for you. This is labeled MS170 and 220T. 220T is another saw. So I have them all labeled. This is 660, 460 Rancher, and 572 XP. All these saws take different tools because the gullet, or the spot that cuts out of the chainsaw, the sharp part, the part that takes the chips out, is different size for each type of saw. This is a thinkless tool. This is a tool that makes you think, okay? Now I know, again, I don't want to put down the purist. I'm all about using the tool that makes you think and getting that feel for it. There's also a couple things that I'd like to use when I get ready to maintain my saws, and we're going to show you how I use all this. Gone are the days, once again, of using the scrinch that comes in the package with your saw. Now you can keep this for backup or keep it in your toolbox somewhere. That's fine, that's great. This is a different tool. This is called ratchet scrinch, and that's why this is Tool Tuesday, because we're showing you cool stuff that you may or may not know about. Notice how much shorter the ratchet scrinch is than the regular scrinch. This scrinch, chainsaw tool, whatever you want to call it, you can severely over-tighten your bolts that hold your bar in place. I had a guy tell me one time, he said, take your scrinch and cut it off right there, okay? Because your hands are too big and you're over-tightening things. And if you over-tighten this right here, you're gonna run into trouble. Let's take our little brush, doll this guy up. We're gonna make a little bit of a mess today. I like making a mess. Take our little brush here, clean this guy up. This is a scrinch, this is the ratchet scrinch. Don't over-tighten these. That is a common mistake. You over-tighten this, you over-tighten the chain. I'm gonna give you a pro tip straight from the mouth of the head chainsaw guy at Husqvarna. Take a nickel out of your pocket, if you got a nickel, and stick it underneath the chain. Pull up your chain, slide a nickel in. If it fits and it's tight, then it's good. If it fits and it's loose, it's too loose. If it won't go under there, then you don't have your chain, you have your chain too tight. So take a nickel, slide it under there. I wish I had a nickel in here. See if I can go find one and I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. So without further ado, we're gonna put these in the vise and we're just gonna start working. I have a lumber crayon and I have a Sharpie. Either one will work. We've got to mark one of our teeth right here so we know when we get to that tooth, so we don't over sharpen. And we wanna do this evenly, smoothly, and nicely so that our saws are ready to rock and roll for the fall, firewood season. I don't have a nickel, but I do have 2 dimes, so we're gonna use 2 dimes. That's about the thickness of a nickel. We'll show you that here in just a second. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get our saw in our vise, just like so. If you don't have a good vise, you need to get a good vise. This is not a good vise. This is a vise that I pulled out of a barn and did a restoration job on. Pretty cool stuff. I like old stuff that's nice. So here's our saw, here's everything that we need, and we need to be able to guide our file through our saw. So now we're gonna use our steel chainsaw sharpener. The cool thing about this is that your file is built in right here, and the flat file that hits the top of the raker is also here. So it's taking it down appropriately every single time. Pretty simple, guys. You just wanna go the direction that the arrow says, which is right here. I'm going to come back this way. Let me just turn it this way right here. Lock our saw down. Our arrow's this way. And all we're going to do is lay it in there, and we're going to give it about 3 good grinds here, 3 good slides. 1, 2, 3. Just that easy. We're going to mark that tooth. I've got my lumber pencil right here. Which tooth was it? This guy right here. So we're going to hit that with a lumber crayon, and we're also going to hit it with the Sharpie too. We'll just color that guy. I'll post a link to lumber crayon. If you've never used one, it helps. It's something I use on the sawmill all the time. We're just going to keep on going. 2, 3. That's so thankless, isn't it? It's a great tool for a guy or a gal that might not want to learn how to sharpen their chainsaw, right? No, we all want to learn, especially at this level with the XP saws. But you always get the appropriate angle and you always knock that raker down the same with every single tooth. Consistency with every single tooth is the most important thing here, guys. Probably should wear gloves doing this too. Okay, 3. Slide it forward. So, all right, got that side done, good to go. Turn the saw back around and hit it from this side. Our mark is on that tooth right there, so we're gonna start just behind that tooth, and we're gonna work our way down the other side. Again, remember which way your arrow points. That's it. So in, what, 3 minutes, we got everything completely done with this chainsaw. It is ready to rock and roll, ready to use, and it is sharp, buddy. I'm gonna tell you, I was a purist, okay? I was all about using a regular file until I picked up one of these. Now I've given one to my dad. To everybody that I know that owns a chainsaw, I've recommended this. This is a super handy tool, guys, especially in the woods when you hit something like a rock or something like that and you gotta sharpen it really quickly. 5 minutes per saw. Now, we're gonna take the Husky down and we're gonna go ahead and get into some of these steel chainsaws, some of these bigger saws.
You want the belly rub? Right here, the belly rub. Yes, sir. Buddy's a good boy. You want the belly rub? You want to play? Yes, sir. No snotty.
Now, last time I used this saw, and this is the 500i fuel-injected beast, this is a screamer of a chainsaw. Last time I used it, the chain came off. And the reason the chain came off is because I was into some little brush. And the reason I was into some little brush is because I was right over in here clearing out to put this building right here. So it's been quite some time since I used this 500i. I do have a video coming soon where we're gonna be rebuilding a Steel MS 500i. And if you don't know what this saw is, this is the Mac Daddy Creme de la Creme fuel-injected chainsaw from Steel. This is an awesome saw. That's on a Christmas list right there for sure. So we'll slip this guy off. And the same thing with the Steel as with the Husqvarna. When we slide off our nuts that retain this cover, they stay with. That's a good quality for a pro saw. This one's a little crusty in here. We're gonna go ahead and take it over in the gravel, clean that guy out, or over a trash can. Actually, I got a trash can right here. Use the ratchet scrinch. There's a few things that people might not know about a scrinch and what it's designed to do. We're gonna show you that here in a second too. This one isn't quite as crusty. It's a little bit newer saw. Not quite as crusty as the other one. We'll wipe it out real good, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll and reassemble this critter, okay? Let's set that to the side. Let me show you the bar real quick. They say you should flip your bar every single time you sharpen. So it's right side up right now. We're gonna flip it over to upside down. We need to make sure that our oil ports are nice and clean. We didn't do that on the Husqvarna, I don't know why, but I've got a little blower over here and you can see this got hot. This saw got hot, a little bit sticky. I must have been cutting into some pine. So we wipe this guy clean. We also take our scrinch and we run it down in. A scrinch is designed to clean out this channel right here. So run it down in that channel and slide it down through there, okay? Get as much of the garbage as you can out of it, just like so. There we go. Nothing really in there. We're gonna get our blower and we're gonna blow this out. Now I'm not hauling a big old compressor out here. I'm just gonna use this critter right here. This is from Milwaukee. It's a little portable air tire pumper, really. We're just gonna turn it up, turn it on, and we've got the blower attachment on here. Blow this guy out. Should wear safety glasses when doing this. Blow that guy out. Yeah, totally need safety glasses. Let me grab them. We've got our Oakley safety glasses here. Let's turn it around. Let's get real down and dirty. Crank it back up. That little compressor is pretty cool, man. I like it. There we go. There's a lot of saw boogers in there, man. I got a handful of goop out of there. That's pretty cool. Glad I did that. Actually, this saw is really dirty underneath this cover too. I'm gonna take that blower and blow it out real good. Right there. See all that. Nice. Impressed yet? I'm super impressed with that. Way cool. I like that. Okay, let's go ahead and get our bar back. And again, we're gonna flip the bar. So we'll set this guy here. Get our bar back on. Go ahead and get our chain back in the appropriate direction. How many of you guys have put a chain on backwards? I know I have. I don't want to brag about it. We need to dig that way, away from you. We'll slide our chain onto our bar. This is a fairly dull chain. I like to keep backup chains in the shop, and we're going to build out a whole tool section just for chainsaws. That way we can do all of our chainsaw maintenance right there in the shop and make a big mess and clean it back up. Okay. Do I think like you or do you think like me? Yeah, probably so. We like making messes. We're men, make a mess. Throw a wrench. You don't want to go on there, do you? Because someone had the bar way over tightened. There we go. Deal. Cover back on. What do you call that cover? Is that a dust cover? I'll tell you one thing. This bench is way too high to sharpen chainsaws. It's the first time I've ever sharpened chainsaws on this bench, and this is way too high. Made in Germany. Look at that. That's way loose. Let's loosen her back up real quick and tighten it down to where we can get a double dime or a nickel in there. That's what we're after. Getting close. All right. For the sake of learning experience here, let's go ahead and drop our 2 dimes in there. I want to pull up. We can barely get it up there. That's it. That's the tightness we want, okay? Pull tight, slide 2 dimes in or a nickel. Good to go. What do you think? Tell me what you think, guys. All you pro guys out there. I know everybody's a chainsaw pro, so tell me what you think. I am lifting up on the saw as I tighten. There's my ratchet scrunch. Snug it. Don't gorilla tighten. Good to go. Now let's get our sharpener and just go to it. We'll go ahead and mark this tooth right here. Right there. Just get a little bit of that chalk on there. That wax on there, and let her rip. We're going to go that direction, just like that, where the arrow points. I don't know how many of you people have seen someone use a file going, but that is not how you use a file. Remember, the file is designed to cut in one direction. You endanger the file by going, you just need to go one direction, okay? If you go back and forth, you can damage your file, shorten the life of your file, and I know they're cheap enough, but why damage it when you don't have to? Because what's going to happen is you're going to get in your shop, you're going to need that file, and you're not going to have a good file, and you're going to be mad at yourself for ruining it. 4 strokes. Nice. Whew. All right, we are good to go. Saw is sharp, tension loosened up a little bit as we started sharpening it and rotating the saw a little bit. It did loosen up, so we'll go ahead, take our ratchet scrunch, loosen this guy up. There we go. Give her a little snuggy snug. Okay. There it is. Awesome. Bam! That is how we sharpen the saws here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. I'm gonna go ahead and go through all these other ones. I do have a video coming out. We're gonna open up an MS500i. This is a beast of a saw, and my buddy's farm help put the wrong gas in. Didn't put mixed gas in and seized up a 500i. It's a $1,700 saw. Stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you shortly when we get into that saw. I think I'm gonna take it apart probably tonight or tomorrow, see what we got. Got a rainstorm coming, and now we are absolutely ready for a hurricane that's coming in the next 2 days. We gotta get trees off the fences as quick as we can to keep our cows up. Thank you guys, we'll see you next time on the Stoney Ridge Farm channel. Ratchet scrunch, awesome, and the steel chainsaw sharpening tool. These are the tools for Tool Tuesday. Plus these awesome chainsaws. I'll post links to everything for you. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time on the Stoney Ridge Farm. Woo! We can't not start this saw. I gotta hear it. I wanna hear it. I want you to hear it, this saw. Yeah, baby. Well, let's just come back and get blah, 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 blah. I got some grease on my finger. Blah, 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 blah. You got grease all over your saw. I don't know, shoot. Cause I'm a greasy fella. Cause I got dirty saws. I come from dirty.
Buddy's a good boy. Want the belly rub? You want to play?
Still loose, mate. Oh my goodness, got my hands dirty.